guys, welcome back to a new season. Obviously we are no longer Race Rats podcast. It is also no longer two of us. As I briefly mentioned at the end of last race season, we would be changing the formatting of how this is recorded, and that is going to be me doing what I do best, doing what I know best, and doing makeup looks based on each race week and where it is being held. So that is why I currently look the way I do. Please excuse my skin. It is terrible right now after coming back from Aus25. It went through so many seasons and went through hell like I did, and I'm trying to get it back under control. This is the worst it's been in years. So let's work on covering that, and let's talk about the Aus25. So let's talk about the Aus25. It is one of my two home races. It is the one that I can actually attend, and I did attend, and it was amazing for the most part. Obviously the weather was a lot to deal with, but getting to see the cars on track and do what I do, and what I love most with my best friends was incredible. I got such little sleep. I'm actually filming this way later than I intended to because I lost my voice before the Aus25 even started. This is the best it's actually been in about 9 or so days, and I am filming this the Saturday of the Chinese Grand Prix, so I'd been through it over the last 2 weeks, dealing with not having a voice. I'm also filming this on Roberto Mary's birthday, so happy birthday to my favourite man in the world, Teto, the only man that I actually want. So hopefully he never sees us. Thanks. Yeah, so Aus25 was definitely a wild time. I spent way too much of it inebriated, sorry to say, but when you're watching your favourite drivers on track sometimes not doing so well, you kind of want to not be fully there for it, if we can, yeah. But Friday session went really well. Unfortunately, we did see Ollie Behrman crash out on track in FP1, which was very sad for one of my best friends. And funnily enough, I got a photo of her after the session. We went to take a photo of us in front of the track, and as I went to take hers, I went to make a joke of, oh look, cars on track, because there was a truck. I then realised, as we both turned around to look at it, it was Ollie Behrman's car on the truck, and I got a fantastic photo of her realizing this and being in complete shock. But FP1 started really great. We saw just a little bit of a teaser of what some of the teams can do this year, in saying that we did have the top 3 as Leclerc in 3rd, Carlos Sainz in 2nd. In the Williams, have fun at Williams, they said. I'm actually having the time of my life. And in 1st, topping the times, Lando Norris. Obviously, you know, it's only testing, it's only free practice, and you know, a lot's to come. I should have known with the pace of that McLaren what these McLarens can do this year, and I'm very proud to be both a McLaren fan and a Williams fan, because we really saw the potential of both teams over the Aus25. FP2, unfortunately Ollie Behrman was not back by. He had done a little bit more damage to the car than they thought, and they thought that they could get him out running for a few laps at the very end of FP2. Unfortunately, that was not the case. He did miss out on running that session. But we did see again the true pace of the McLarens, with 2 of the top 3 being McLaren. Norris in third, Piastri in second, and the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc in first. It is Piastri's home race as well, so lots to watch out for there. In saying that, any Australian knows the curse of the home race for Australians, and we're always very, very careful of like getting our hopes up, because as much as we want that curse to be broken, this curse has been going on for many, many years. So it is what it is, I guess, being Australian. On to Saturday, it was insane temperatures at the track. Like Friday was hot. We suffered. I got a very, very sick, actually, I'll see if you can see it on camera, my tan line. I got burnt. I had sunscreen on. I forgot to reapply my sunscreen, and I did not realize it was going to be as hot as it was on that Friday. It was hot, just saying. Saturday was definitely worse, both for fans that were there enjoying, and definitely for the drivers and the tyres on track. Moving on to FP3, they were able to get Behrman's car fixed, and he was able to go out. Not for very long though. He did spin out on, I think, 10-11, and that did cease his session because he got stuck in a gravel trap, and that was it. Not a great weekend for Baby Bear. Liam Lawson also having issues with the car, returning to the pits and not getting to run out again. That is what it is. It's Liam Lawson. FP3, as hot as it was on that Saturday and we're all dying, did end with Max Verstappen in third, George Russell in second, and Oscar Piastri in first. So, you know, again, the McLaren's got pace. We're seeing it all weekend. But being Australian, we're not holding our breath because we know there's a curse. We know there's a race curse for the home race for Aussies. So we want him to do well. We're moving in silence. We're seeing the pace of that car. We're just not. Ew. We're just not mentioning it because home race curse. Home race curse, baby. And then we had qualifying. Qualifying was actually in like the dead heat of the day. I will be very honest with you. A lot of us were starting to feel very sick around the GP because the heat was really getting to us, me very much included. That also could have been due to the fact that we started drinking early that day and I hadn't had much water, but then I was trying to have water. I really was. I was trying to have water. Anyway, I did end up drinking a lot of water after this because I was actually really, really sick. Really sick. Qualifying though. Very interesting results. Very interesting. We move in silence. So due to all the issues that Ollie Behrman was having with his car, he actually was not able to compete in qualifying in the end. He wasn't able to set a time. It was quite sad being his, you know, official rookie debut. Yes, he did a few sessions last year to cover in a few of the other teams when drivers were out, but this was his official rookie debut in Oz, and the weekend was just not going the way of Baby Bear. It really was not going the way of Baby Bear. So he was obviously going to be starting P20. He's out. Let's just cut to the chase there. I'm not going to lie to you all. Baby Bear did not have a good weekend. Next four out due to some of them lack of talent, some of them just slow cast, if I'm being honest, and some of them just having not great sessions when running Just couldn't quite get the pace. But 19th, I spun Ocon. 18th, Liam Lawson. I feel like this is going to be like exactly like last year again. When I was like, you know, Checo Perez. Shocking performance in that Red Bull, in that secondary Red Bull. Because, what do you mean you are in the same machinery as Max Verstappen and you can't hold your time? But anyway, they put the wrong driver in that Red Bull seat. Yuki Tsunoda is right there. Danny Rick was right there too. Anyway, ew, what is in my eyelash? I have gotten stuff in my eyelash. Nico Hülkenberg, and unfortunately a Q1 exit for Kimi Antonelli. Not what we wanted to see for little Ant Farm this early on in his career. Cool. The next 5 out, unfortunately did see a few rookies being out. But again, it's their first qualifying session as F1 drivers. Can't really fault them there because, you know, they're still getting used to their cars. It is what it is. And they were doing well over the weekend. So, all in all, we give them a break. Next 5 out though were Gabby Bortoletto, Jack Doohan on his home race debut, even though he technically debuted in Abu Dhabi last year, unfortunately. Lance Stroll, Fernando Alonso, so both Astons being out, and Isaac Hadjar. It is what it is. Alright ladies, it is what it is. There's a few names I have not said yet as we go into the top 10. And if I'm being completely honest with you, not names I expected to see in the top 10. Not cars I expected to see in the top 10. And that's on me. That's on me because I should go into a new season being a little bit more open-minded of what the cars could do this year. But anyway, so yeah, 10th to 1st, starting off strong, we had Carlos Sainz in the Williams. I'm a Sainz fan, so I loved it. I loved it. We then had Pierre Gasly, Lewis Hamilton down in 8th, Charles Leclerc down in 7th. Out-qualified in 6th by a Williams, Alex Albon. Have fun at Williams, they said. Having that time of my life, if I'm being honest, guys. Yuki Tsunoda in 5th, showing us who really belongs in that Red Bull seat. But I don't think Red Bull's ready to talk about that yet. George Russell in 4th, Max Verstappen in 3rd. And a front row lockout from the Papaya Boys themselves. 2nd, Oscar Piastri, and the first pole of the season, Lando Norris. Imagine that. So, anyone that knows me, or if you watched last season, knows that I am a McLaren fan, and obviously now a Williams fan. I like Alex Albon, just not really like follow the team because obviously the team is not doing well. But I am a Lando and a Carlos fan first and foremost. So obviously Carlos leaving the horse team, I went, cool, let's go support Williams. I never supported the horse team. Sorry about it. I was a McLaren girl, but now I am a McLaren and Williams girl, very much for Carlos and Lando. And yeah, Papaya front row lockout, baby, at my home race, and one of my favorite drivers on pole. So it's pretty sick, Now, as we get into this, I'm going to say trust the process because this is going to look a little crazy. It's going to look a little crazy while we do this step. So just trust the process, okay, guys? Race day. Race day was a bit of a nightmare. As I said before, the Saturday, boiling hot. Like, we were suffering, the drivers would have been suffering, the tyres would have been suffering. It was just an absolute nightmare of heat. Sunday could not have been more opposite. We were told to prepare for rain. We knew it was going to rain. I'm not a fan of wet races. I know they're the great equalizer, and you know, it's all about talent and not just the car and all of that. I'm very aware. I just personally have a fear of driving in the rain, and watching my favourite drivers drive in the rain gives me a lot of anxiety. I know they know what they're doing. It just scares me. But as I said, you know, we were told to prepare for rain. We were very aware it was going to rain. Did not expect, you know, a tropical storm. It was very much a tropical storm. Not a fan of it. Can I just say, not my favourite. I almost drowned in puddles that day. I'm 5'1", just for reference. And some of the puddles I had to go through, very deep and scary. And I joked about drowning. I think there was a few times if I had tripped over, I may have. So that was fun. But anyway, the race. So where me and my friends were seated was actually the McLaren grandstand. We had gotten McLaren grandstand tickets, which was really, really exciting for us. We were really, really looking forward to it. You know, sitting amongst fans of the team you support, kind of sick. So we were very excited to be in the McLaren grandstand, even though it was undercover. It's out of cover. There was no cover, is what I'm trying to say. It was out in the elements. But we were sat right at the start of the pit lane. So we were at the last turn of the circuit, turn 14. One thing I will say that I haven't mentioned, that I forgot to mention, watching Max Verstappen, you know, 4-time world champ. First of all, incredible thing to get to do, if I'm being honest. Absolute pleasure watching him drive, because he is magnificent as a driver. But I had been noticing over the entire weekend, he was struggling with sector 3. So he could pull amazing times out of the first 2 sectors. But by sector 3, he was slipping and sliding and just not having a good time. And I was able to count it every time. You know, we're watching him getting close times to Lando at qualifying, and you know, I'm with one of my best friends and she's clutching my arm. She's a big Lando fan. Shout out to Kira. And I just kept saying to her, I'm like, hold on, watch sector 3. Max is gonna slip and slide again. And every time I was right. I don't know what it was about sector 3. He was just not able to pull it together. And that was across the entire weekend, not just one session, the entire weekend. So then the race starts. The race doesn't start, sorry. They get into their grid spots. They go for their formation lap. And we have the first DNF of the race. Unfortunately, Isaac Hadjar in the formation lap did spin and crash his car. Everyone gasped. As I said, we were a McLaren grandstand. There was a few other like teams fans in there, but everyone felt for Isaac in that moment. Everyone's heart broke. I think everyone became an Isaac fan after that. Seeing him crying on the big screen at your home race really hit hard, and then seeing Anthony Hamilton you know, take him under his wing, which would have been a big deal for Isaac because he is a big Hamilton fan growing up. I think it was really nice to just see. It was a really nice thing of Anthony Hamilton, and everyone definitely felt for that. Everyone felt for Isaac in that moment. So it hurt. It hurt. And that was literally the formation lap. We didn't even get in a lap and we lost the car. So then obviously it delayed with Isaac going off and then delaying the start. Everyone was we're waiting to hear if it was going to be a rolling start or a standing start. Apparently they all agreed on a standing start, which I didn't personally understand, because, you know, being out in that weather and seeing what it was like, it was a nightmare. Oh my god, my camera is unfocused. It was a nightmare to watch. It was scary, to say the least. Literally the first lap of the race. And we don't even make it through the first lap of the race. So Jack Doohan went off. Again, another unfortunate start for his home race. What did I say? Aussie curse. And while everyone was dealing with that mess literally going on, I wish I was joking when I say this. Right on my corner. The audacity of this man. Let me tell you the audacity of my favorite driver. Carlos went off. Carlos went into the wall. He spun and went into the wall on turn 14. Right in front of where I was. And funnily enough, I had just missed recording it. There was like right in front of me, I got a clear shot of the cars, and I knew he was coming around, and I just moved my camera over to that way so I could get a nice shot of his car again. Just as I turned it, because I knew he was coming around that corner. He didn't come around the damn corner, did he? Or he did. He just didn't finish coming around the corner. I don't know what you want me to say here. My favorite driver crashed on the turn that I was at. And that sucked. That really, really sucked. I was in full Williams gear as well. I just dropped way too much money. Way too fucking much money. Let me tell you, merch prices at the track, don't do it. You think merch prices online are bad? Because like shipping and that, got nothing on merch prices at the track. Let me tell you. I had gotten 4 tattoos done earlier that week. So yeah. Jack and Carlos both crashed in the first lap, which then brought out a safety car. And one thing you don't really see on TV, or like wherever you stream races on, I guess, is when the safety car comes out, if they can go through the pit lane because of like where the crash was, they will. And watching the cars go through the pit lane constantly. Ooh, refocus please. Thank you. Watching the cars go through the pit lane constantly behind the safety car felt so goofy. Like, you're not racing at this point, but the laps are going down. Like, we're getting laps in. Why are we getting laps in? This doesn't feel real. So after watching my favorite driver crash out while being in a full McLaren area, wearing all Williams merch, hat, jacket, all of it, it's great. Also shivering, soaking wet, having possibly the worst day of my life, running on very little sleep, no voice, dying. The race eventually continued after the safety car ended, which went on for quite a while because, you know, it took him some time to get Carlos's car back out because of where it was. It was a little annoying to get to. That was not going to be the final retirements of the race. Oh no, that weather, terrible. We had 3 more go off, including Gabby Bortoletto, who I was very sad to see go off because I do like him a lot already. We also saw rookie Fernando Alonso go off, you know, hard time for the rookies apparently, and Liam Lawson. Which did help Ollie Behrman, who was starting from the pit lane because of things that they had to fix in his car. I think, wait, no, did he start from pit lane? No, I don't know. It did help Ollie Behrman because he was... The only way I can describe this is watching it live. Is we kept joking about it being that meme of, wait for me, I got little legs, because that's exactly what it was. You'd see all the cars go and then you'd be waiting a while, and then you'd eventually see Ollie. But we were rooting for him, rooting for Ollie. So obviously having 6 people not finish the race helped him a little bit. We did also, I gotta put lashes on now, oh hello. We did also, as previously mentioned, as much as we tried to move in silence, we had the home race curse hit. I've got lash glue where I don't want lash glue. Hello. Cool. So we did have more heartbreak for the Australian curse of Oscar Piastri, unfortunately. Okay, as a McLaren fan, I do say this a lot, of they need to listen to their drivers more. Lando had said, obviously there was more rain incoming and they'd been pitted to be put on slicks, and Lando had said, we need to pit for inters. Like, if there's more rain coming, this is bad, we need to pit for inters. And he was not listened to. And three laps later, they decided, maybe we should pit for inters, because the track was getting really wet again. And both the boys had slid, Oscar more so than Lando, but in the same spot. And Oscar went off. Oscar went off the track at our home race. So home race curse hit Oscar, and he did slide out because the team didn't listen to Lando about pitting for inters sooner, and yeah, that also caused every grandstand to gasp, whether you're a McLaren fan or not. Home race hero. And yeah, we thought it was over for Oscar. We went from possibly having a papaya 1-2 in the first race of the season and breaking that home race curse with Oscar, to Oscar sliding out and spitting on the grass. He did do something absolutely incredible and reverse it out of the grass and finish the race, which had literally every grandstand, everyone that was at the circuit on their feet cheering for him, because it was just incredible work. He wasn't giving up on the home race, and in the end he did fight back to just finish in the points, barely, but from, you know, where we were to where we ended was really, really great work. The Ferraris were struggling the entire weekend, sorry, the entire race, and they finished, actually, I think Oscar even, yeah, so at the very, very end, he was fighting for points. At the very end, Oscar was fighting for points. He did overtake Hamilton, so Hamilton did finish 10th, and Leclerc in 8th, with Oscar splitting the two in 9th, getting the 2 points for McLaren there. Honestly, incredible race from the rookie of Kimi Antonelli, who was given a penalty, which was revoked after the race when it was appealed. So he did get his spot back and did end up finishing P4. We had the Sauber of Hulkenberg in 7th, the Aston Martin of Lance Stroll in 6th, and the Williams of Alex Albon, showing the true pace of that car this year, up in 5th. So he did finish 4th, but then when they revoked the when they appealed for Kimi and he got his place back, he got bumped down to 5th. Yeah. So the Ferraris were outperformed by a Sauber, a Aston Martin, and a Williams. Let me tell you, real proud of that one. Just out of the points after fighting so hard, and did break my heart a little bit. Pierre Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda in 11th and 12th respectively. Ocon and Behrman finishing 13th and 14th at the end. Which does leave... Before I talk about the top three, I want to talk about how it was almost a papaya front row podium. How it was almost a papaya podium. When you're watching the races from home, you get told the gap and you see it a little bit. Nothing can prepare you for how big that gap actually is watching it live. I'll insert the footage I have of the two McLarens going past where we were, and then how long it takes when you're live to see Max Verstappen come around that corner.
Eyes. They're not looking. We're asking them to hold on a little bit longer, aren't we? So let's see what the margin is now between Norris and Piastri. Big fastest lap for Lando.
It was a really proud moment as a McLaren fan to see that, because it's showing the true potential for the car this year. And I'm really happy for that. And obviously this was before Piastri unfortunately stood out. And he fought for that podium position. He really did. His battle with Max was tough. Lando honestly did amazing work keeping his position in P1 after starting on pole, which did see the 3 podium finishes. In third be George Russell, second Max Verstappen, and winning the first race of the season, Lando Norris, which does also mean Lando leads the championship. Yes, it's only one race in, but this is the longest streak Max Verstappen has never held the championship in 4 years. This is the first time in Lando's career that he has held the championship, and it's season 8 for him now. 2019 was his first year. What year am I in? I don't know. But it is... I'm tired. It is Lando's first time leading the championship in his career, which is amazing work. And really cannot wait to see what this year holds for McLaren fans. It does also mean that McLaren are leading the Constructors' Championship already. And because of the points haul Alex Albon brought home, even with Carlos's DNF, the Williams is currently outperforming Ferrari in the points. And we're fourth in the Constructors. Yeah, 4th, I think. Lando Norris got fastest lap. Unfortunately, no lap records were broken due to, the weather. Can't really push the limits for it then. And Lando did get driver of the day. Rightfully so. He held on. If McLaren had just listened to him the 3 laps earlier when he said you need to pit as sprinters, we could have had a papaya double podium. Can't really push it any further, because you can say if all you want, but at the end of the day, what happened, and it's over. All in all though, amazing, nerve-wracking race. We move on to China this week, which has already started by the time I'm filming this because of how sick I have been. But yeah, welcome back. F1 is back, cars are back on track. If you haven't noticed, I have been wearing, I don't know if you can see it, an Alpine top this whole time. I like Pierre Gasly. It is what it is. And this is the final look. We've done a green and gold look for Australia, because all of our sports teams are green and gold. Even though our flag is red and blue, all of our sports teams are green and gold. So this is basically what the series will be from this year. That's why it is now called pitlaneglam. I will be doing makeup looks based on each race week. I don't know, this is something very different for me. I'm a little nervous to see how this will be perceived. Obviously not everyone's going to like my makeup. Obviously my makeup's not going to be perfect every week because as much as I try, sometimes I make a wrong move. And it is what it is. But I'm excited to do this. I'm excited to bring you all along with me for the 2025 F1 season and see where we go. And I'm excited to do looks based on each country that we race in. So yeah, I have nothing more to say. Thank you for watching to the end if you have. I will see you guys next week for China. And cars are back. Cars are back on track. Oh, in case anyone wanted a tattoo haul, you can see 3 of the 4. The 4th isn't visible. They look kind of gnarly at the moment because they are healing, obviously. But we got a 4 because put it all on 4, baby. Is an ongoing joke now. Me and Kira have an on-running joke. We had actually gone out for drinks on the Saturday night after qualifying and we're at the casino. Jokingly, we weren't actually in the casino, we were outside of it because neither of us are into that kind of thing. But we jokingly said that we'd go in and put it all on 4 because Lando had put it on pole and then the next day he won. So now our bios and everything put it all on 4, and I had already got that earlier in the week. Put it all on 4, baby. We also have Carlos's helmet and my little F1 car. It was an F1 week in Melbourne, so why would I not get multiple? The 4 means a lot to me because not only is it Lando's number, it is also my lucky number. As you would have noticed last season, I wear a little 4 around my neck every week, every day, not just race weeks. I wear a little 4 around my neck for luck. And now I also have the 4 because we put it all on 4, baby. Put it all on 4. Anyway, have an amazing time. And we'll see you next week for China. Bye.